This is a day drinking stream. It's a stream where we drink during the day. Cause I got the day off and it's Friday. So we're gonna do a little bit of drinking during the day. Is everyone excited for it? Yeah! It's a day drinking stream! Hello, hello. How is everyone? Look at all this natural light. Do you see this? You can tell it's daytime because of all this beautiful natural light that I'm getting from outside. It burns. It burns us. I hate it. I hate it. But yes, it is 2:30 on a Friday. I actually have a Friday off. I've been getting a couple Fridays off recently, which is a very rare thing in the liquor industry. Friday, Saturday, busiest days. So it's surprising that I've been getting these days off. But it's good because that means I get to spend it with some of you. Who's already in the chat? Kilco, my man, he gets the reference. My dude, Kilco. Mateo! Yes, I'm glad you can make the day drinking streams. That's awesome. I'm sorry you're not able to make the 9 p.m.s. I know, yeah, those can be late for some people, or, you know, if you got to work or something, yeah, sorry. But I'm glad you can make it to these. And Scott Moody, my man Scott. Good to see you, Mr. Moody. Appreciate you. All right, so what are we talking about today? This is actually kind of fun. I went into work the other day, you know, and waiting for me at the register was it was actually like a sandwich bag, like a Ziploc baggie full of single barrel samples. I was like, what? Where the hell did these come from? Hey, Jeff Griffin, what's going on? And Eric McDaniel, there's my dude. How are you? So yeah, plastic baggie, just with a bunch of single barrel samples in them. And all it said, there was a piece of tape on there that just said, for Ed at Rot Gut Review. Yeah. I was like, what? Where did all these come from? Who's just dropping off samples at my work? Because it didn't have any information. There wasn't like a note or anything about who it was from or what the deal was. So I was like, whoa, this is weird. Yeah, the secret stash, exactly, apparently. So turns out, slanty. Yeah, right, cilantro. Yeah, and it turns out it's from a gentleman, and I've met this guy before at my work. His name is Sean Whipley, and he works for Pequod Distribution. He actually had a bunch of Cat's Eye single barrel stuff that he had dropped off previously. This is his sell sheet right here. And he had given me a sample of one of the ryes. And so I guess when he got some new single barrel stuff in, he was like, hey, I'm going to give it to that fucking weirdo over on that weird fucking YouTube show. So there you go. Let's run through what we have. These are interesting. It's interesting because Pequod is mostly a beer distributor, as far as I know, here in Wisconsin and Minnesota, I believe. Mostly just beer, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But apparently now they've also got this gentleman doing single barrel selections just for Pequod distribution and selling them to local liquor stores. So that's kind of fun. Let's see here. First one up is Great Northern. So Great Northern Distillery here in Wisconsin. This is a rye, 4-year-old and 4-month. They call it the Dust Cutter. This one was picked for SMWC barrel, and it's at 124 proof, so 62%. SMWC, I was looking at this, and at first I was like, wait, SMWS, the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, they're doing single barrel picks of rye now? And I was like, wait, no, it's not It's not the society. It's SMWC, which I assume is like a Scotch malt whiskey club or single malt whiskey club, something like that, who did this barrel pick. Or maybe it's a store. I don't know. But I got very confused and a little excited. Like, what? Now SMWS is getting into the rye game? What? No, too good to be true. Too good to be true. All right. Then we've got Cat's Eye, another Cat's Eye, Obtainium. This is the single barrel 5-year bourbon whiskey. So obviously all the Obtainium stuff sourced from MGP. This is their 5-year-old bourbon coming in at 118.3 proof. These are healthy. These are some healthy freaking proofs. Yes. We all need more single barrels in our life, isn't that the case? I think so. Then number 3, Great Northern Rye. So another Great Northern Rye. This one coming in at 110 proof, so a little lower. 4-year Driving Miss Maple. This was done for Nemuth's. That's a store up in Appleton here in Wisconsin. I lived up there for a minute up in Oshkosh. It's the worst. Oshkosh, Appleton's kind of nice. Oshkosh is terrible. I hate Oshkosh. Hey, cool running. Sancho Gutsa. Gonna start too. Rebel 113. So this is also an SMWC/Nemuth's barrel. They call it Buckethead Blues. This is a 6-year-old 2-month. So for those of you who don't know, Rebel Yell recently became just Rebel. So Rebel 113, I assume 113 is the proof. So weeded mash bill, Luxco, sourced weeded mash bill. They dropped the Rebel Yell because, well, I mean, I'm sure you guys are smart. You can figure it out. Right? It's the whole Confederacy thing. The brand was basically built on like the whole lost cause of the Confederacy, and we're trying to appeal to, racists. So they were like, oh, hey, maybe we shouldn't be associated with that anymore. It helped a lot to drink it if you thought it was named after that song. Who was that? Billy Idol? With a rebel yell. That's the one. Helped a lot to drink it if you thought it was that instead of, slave ownership. America, exactly. But yeah, they recently dropped the yell because, they probably should have done that a long time ago. All right. Let's start with Rebel here. Then we'll get into should we do the bourbons first? Hey, Jason Busey's in. Good to see you. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, especially with the brand now that it is owned by MGP. Yeah. Let's avoid endorsing racism. I like to say I love everyone, but racists can suck an ass. So, all right. So let's start with our 2 bourbons right quick. So which one's the higher proof? Okay, actually, Cat's Eye is the higher proof, 118. So let's get into this Rebel 113. So 6 years old. That's healthy. Not super old. There's some crazy old stuff. We actually just got in a new Whistle Pig pick at my store. It's still a 10-year age statement, but the barrel itself was 16 years old. So the whiskey in the barrel, I should be clear about that. The barrel itself wasn't a 16-year-old barrel just sitting around. But yeah. So you're buying 16-year-old Whistle Pig at 10-year-old prices. Pretty cool. If you really like old Whistle Pig. To be fair, I'm realizing how much I say that. I have always been a more of a fan of the young stuff. So if you really like old rye, then that's cool. Whistle Pig is putting out some interesting orphan barrel stuff that is kind of fun. Kind of fun. Very old and at a very good price, 90 bucks for a 15-year-old. This is nice, I gotta say. For a weeded mash bill, this actually has quite a bit more. It's mostly brown sugar. I will say that it's mostly brown sugar. It's bready. It's a weeded mash bill. However, if you had told me this wasn't a weeded mash bill, I might have believed you. It's got a nice little bit of spiciness. Just a touch of, that tannic, dark, spicy. I like that. I prefer to have my bourbons be a touch more spicy. You guys know me. As a mainly a rye drinker, I prefer to have my bourbons be a little spicier. It's good taste. It's not bad. It's not bad. A little nutty, a lot of fruit. Oh, it was Billy Idol. Okay, good. I got that right. With a rebel, yeah. Fruity, nutty. There's an interesting, I don't know. I'm not sure about the finish, though. Fruity, nutty, kind of a walnut. That's what it is. It's a walnut thing. Walnut, fresh fruit, kind of an apple-y thing, actually. It's not really a dark fruit. That brown sugar, a little bit of pepper. I like that. I like to have some little bit of black pepper in there. But there's something weird about that finish. I'm not sure I'm digging. Maybe it's just a little too much of that walnutty, that kind of black walnut bitter. I may come back to this one in a second after I tried the others and see what I think. There's something about that finish I'm just not digging. Jeff, you can ask my opinion. Do I think the Octomore 11.1 is worth shelling out the $200? That's a tough question. Because that is really heavy. For me, yeah. I mean, to be fair, God damn it, I say that so much. I'm realizing now. I got a discount on it because I'm an employee, right? So my thinking is always colored by that, fact. My perception is always changed a little bit. So, but at $200, it's a little heavy. If you like Brookladdy, yes, $200 is worth it. If you really like Brookladdy, and if you really like if you really like that heavy peat, then yeah, I would say $200 is worth it. If you don't particularly, if you've had like Port Charlotte 10, right? And you were like, it's just okay, right? It is what it is. It's all right. It wasn't for you. Don't go buying the Octomore 11.1. If you really love Port Charlotte 10, snap this up. I would say this one is very much in that same spirit of the smoked fish kind of funk peat reek. Very, very much a smoked fish peat reek. It doesn't have that. I mean, it's got some earthiness, but I don't think it was as big and earthy, smoky as a lot of other Isla brands. So if your thing is you want like a Lagavulin or even like a Lafroig, Lafroig, that iodine-y thing. This isn't iodine-y. This is straight up smoked fish. I would say if you're more of a fan of any other Isla distillery, save your money, buy something from them. If you're a big fan of Bruichladdich, I think you're going to love this one. So that's that was a long way of for me to say I don't know. I don't know what your particular taste is. All right, let's get into this Obtainium. So this is their bourbon. Cat's Eye single barrel 5-year bourbon. Yeah, we should have a custom emoji just so you can spam it. To do that though, would I have to have people like join the channel? I guess we could do that. We could make a join the channel thing just so you can spam a to be fair emoji. We can make it in little like black letters, just like to be fair. Your spirit parts, bud. You're 10 ply, bud. Oh, you're gonna make a birthday gift to yourself. Perfect. Sounds good. That's awesome. Oh boy. I gotta say, I am based on the nose. That is true. More money, more equals more whiskey equals more ed. Do you want that though? Do you want more of me? I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to be around more, but do people really want more of this? I feel like people are getting a surplus of this as is. Okay. It's definitely not as sweet as the Rebel. So that's nice. That said, I'm getting that green Yui thing. I'm getting a really green Yui smell that, like a really underaged bourbon or corn whiskey sometimes has. I don't know. Let's get a taste. Let's see. Yeah. This one's in the right direction. There's elements of this one that are going in the right direction. It's a little drier. It's got that dusty corn. It's got the kind of barnyardy elements. It's got some elements I like, but there's that stinky green U note. And it's obviously that it's edgy. It's being aged out. It's being aged out. At this point in its aging, it's moving away a little bit, but it's still there. This needed a couple more years in the barrel just to get rid of that green Yui note. Yeah, this needed a couple more years. Yeah, it's not bad. I like the high proof. I mean, that green note is bad. I don't like that green note. I like the high proof. It's peppery. It's dry. It's doing a lot of things I like. But yeah. See, and Mateo, that's the hay note. See, I can deal with hay, and grass I can deal with. There's a very particular note that I compare to like the sap of a yew tree. Like you cut off a sprig of a yew branch, and that sap, that stinky yewy sap, That's a note I can't stand. It's not even like, it's not pine needly. It's not junipery. It's a very particular thing. Yeah, green like chlorophyll. Yeah, I guess that's it. But I get it a lot in bourbons and corn whiskeys that need a little bit more time. Sometimes in other things too, but generally, mostly in corn-based whiskeys. Mostly in corn-based whiskeys. And you don't get any of that in this Rebel Pick. The Rebel Pick is awesome. Yeah, damn. There are elements I like in this, but I can't get over that green note, man. I can't do it. I can't get over that. Yeah, this needed 1 or 2 more years in the barrel. I think this would have been where it needed to be. I think it would have been there. But as is, it's not doing it for me. It's not killing me. It's just not doing it for me. All right, let's get into the Great Northern Rye picks. This is really what I'm actually the most interested in. This is what I'm here for. It's the rye picks. So, Northern Rye, this is Driving Miss Maple. Cute. I assume they named it that because it's supposedly gonna smell or taste mapley. 4 years old. Hey, Emily. How you doing? Good to see you. Glad you could make it in. As opposed to bourbon, I think 4 years is plenty enough time for rye. I'm good. I'm good with a 4-year-old rye. In fact, I prefer it. I think 4 to 6 years is a excellent range to age a rye whiskey. Maybe, I mean, sometimes younger can be good too, because you get a ton of that really big peppery dilly stuff. One of my favorite rye ever is Driftless Glen's Young Rye. I think it's 1 year and a month old. So you can do some really young ryes. That said, most people don't want to drink that, right? Most people want some wood influence. So 4 to 6 years, I think, is a happy medium. You get much older than that, and then you might as well drink bourbon. Ooh, oh, this is interesting. Oh yeah, this is. Oh, you're trying to multitask? Are you at work right now? Oh, well, thank you for stopping by for the day drinking. I appreciate everybody who is listening in from work. You guys are awesome. Or watching on the replay if you're not able to catch this because you're actually a productive human being. I appreciate you guys. Oh, I like this already. Mike Lizak sent me some Polish rye. He sent me some Polish rye, so I'm excited to try that. I hear it's excellent. Huh. She likes pickle juice shots, but she won't shoot rye with you. I mean, is it the alcohol burn? Is that the problem? Or is it one of the other notes? Because maybe she just hates black licorice. Oh, this is good. Yeah, this is hitting all my buttons. This is firing on all cylinders. Oh, Kilco, I know you are. I know you're secretly productive. Is it the alcohol burn? Try giving it to her on the rocks, I guess, or water. Yeah, this is good. This is good. I like this. It's spicy. It is floral. It's floral. It's got like a daffodil kind of smell going on. It's got a little bit of pepper. It's got a little bit of, I think, a licoricey thing. Yeah, it is the cat's eye Polish rye. He passed them along to me. Okay, I'm gonna have to maybe I will do a little sample of that on stream right quick. And as long as I got you here, I think I have some over here. Oh yeah, I'm digging this. I dig this like a spigot. Dig it like a spigot. It's got that stone fruit. It's got that peachio thing. A little bit of peachio that I love. I dig that. Spicy, black pepper, peachio, little bit of the vegetal rye. I dig it. I dig it. This is sick. Yeah, that's sick. That's sick as fuck. I like this one. It is a little bit sweeter on the taste, and I'm guessing that's probably why they call it Driving Miss Maple. It is a little sweeter on the taste. It does have a little bit of a, what do you call it? I guess it's mapley, but it's not quite mapley. I think it's a little bit more of a molassesy thing, a bittersweet molasses, like a what is that? Blackstrap molasses, bootstrap molasses. I think it's blackstrap. Yeah, it's a little bit more of a molassesy thing than it is a maple, but it does have a little bittersweetness there, just on the entrance. The entrance is a little sweeter than the nose leads you to believe it's gonna be. But you know, if you're gonna have sweet, then you gotta be spicy, and this does that well. My opinion, obviously, is just you gotta have some spice to your sweet, otherwise it just gets cloying. Mateo, do you have to send me a sample? No, you don't. I don't know if Mike actually sent me one of those. I'll have to check what he sent. I think somebody might have. I think somebody might have already sent me one of those. I'll check. I'll have to check. Hey, what's up, David? How are you? Man, all the people over across the pond are showing up tonight, or today. Tonight over there, today here. That's awesome. I'm glad to see you. That is a nice thing about these daytime streams. People who can't necessarily hit the evening stream get to come and hang out here with me while I drink whiskey during the day. All right. Miss Maple is a clear winner so far. Let's see what's going on with Great Northern's Dust Cutter. So Dust Cutter, 124 proof, 4-year-old and 4-month rye. All right. I like that. I like that. Staying in my wheelhouse, staying in that range I like. Nice high proof. What is that? 62? Yeah. Some of these barrel picks are getting closer and closer to hazmat status, you know? In fact, I think their light whiskey actually is hazmat. Yeah, it definitely is. I might have some of that floating around too. Let's see. Yep, here it is. This, yeah, 147 proof. So 70, what is that? 73.5? Damn. We actually have a video. Me and Erica drank this. We have a video coming out about this. Should be next week, I think. So we're going to be talking light whiskey and this one in particular. So, have I had the Rua port? I think I had just the base Rua. Rua. Base Rua. I don't think I've had the Rua port finish. So, I've heard it's good. I've heard it's really good, and I liked the Rua, the regular Rua. So, I'm sure the port finish is really good too. Jeff Griffin says, that's why I have such a hard time spending big on picks till I've tasted or know someone who has tasted them. That's fair, man. That's fair. I don't blame you. Especially, and that's I get, people don't want to spend a lot of money on even a brand they're not familiar with or a product from a brand they know if they don't know that particular iteration is good, right? Then you add in the element of single barrels are always going to be weird and different from each other. And there's going to be less consistency. I don't blame people for waiting to find out about what's going on with a single barrel. The only thing is nowadays, depending on what barrel that company, what company the barrel came from, that's what I was trying to say. Those single barrels sell out so quick. It's crazy. It's crazy. Depending on who made it, like sometimes we'll send out an email being like, hey, whatever is in today, and it's gone by that evening. So I don't know. That is the double-edged sword of the current whiskey boom and the bourbon boom in particular, is that you have so many more options, but there's a lot more people trying to get them before you. Yeah. This is interesting. So same company, I assume the same mash bill. Whiskey Crusader. Yeah, we used to do that. Not anymore. We have been avoiding giving out samples in store. I think I gave one since COVID started for obvious reasons. Nick P. And yeah, some companies are not actually doing true single barrel stuff. They are doing, small batch blends, extremely micro, itty bitty, tiny blends, but nonetheless a blend. Mateo is asking, does anyone besides WhistlePig do blended picks? So far, we've only gotten single barrel picks from WhistlePig. I don't know. I didn't even know they did blended picks. But the one I know off the top of my head is Woodford Reserve. Woodford Reserve does, they give you 3 barrels and then you blend 2 of them, which is a way for Woodford to make sure that their product is somewhat consistent even when doing a store pick. So I don't know. It's a little cowardly, honestly, because just let us get some weird, funky barrel. But they want to have some kind of control in making sure their product is consistent. Whatever. I don't know. I don't think people really care if their Woodford pick is really freaking crazy. I think people would probably pay more for that, honestly, because Woodford kind of has a reputation of being boring. Okay, real quick though. Okay, Great Northern. This Great Northern one is, wait, which one is this? Dust Cutter. A lot more black licorice on the nose. A lot more black licorice. Oh, and Kilhoman. Kilhoman will do special blends. I forgot about them. They'll do a special barrel blend just for a store. They won't sell you a single barrel, but yeah, that's something. David, the Teeling store is selling the whole Brabazon series together, no discount. Should I go for it? Because I have a feeling I'll end up buying them one for one for inflated prices after they sell out. Shit, dude, if I could get the Brabazon series, without having to pay ridiculous shipping fees, I would do it. I would do it, yeah, without a second thought. I would be all over that instantaneously. And then I would be out a lot of money and Erica would be mad at me. But then we'd have a lot of great whiskey to drink together. So maybe she'd forgive me. Nick says they're generally upfront about it. No, they are upfront about it. I'm not saying they're liars or they're telling people something they're not doing. I just think it's a little like I think they're nervous to give you a true single barrel pick, and they're nervous about having control over the process, and I think that is to their detriment, to Woodford Reserve's detriment. So you doubt she would forgive me? Yeah, that's fair. All right, I still haven't tasted this. Not bad. Not bad at all. Peppery, dry. Got that licorice going. There is something, there's an oddly artificial fruitiness there, though. I think that's the main thing I'm getting on the finish that I think makes the Driving Miss Maple single barrel a better version. Driving Miss Maple has a little bit more complexity. It kind of hits more of those notes I like in a rye. Floral, stone fruit, PGO kind of thing. A little bit of the, that, what do you call it? The pepper, the dill, a little bit more complexity. Dust Cutter runs a little bit, it seems like a little bit more black licorice-y. There's a touch of that vegetal spice. There's a little allspice. There's a little bit of that. But it doesn't have as many elements. It's got a nice level of pepper, though. It's got some good heat, some good spice. Got that anise. I'm loving that. And I'm getting less of that sweet note on the second sip, which is good. I would prefer to have less sweetness. That first sip, though, I got just a ton of that like artificial sweet, and I was like, it's not for me. But second sip, I'm getting less of that. Not bad. What is that? Kind of a little lemony kind of thing. Is that what it is? Little lemon? Kind of a citrus. Kind of a fun little citrusy thing. And it's better. The second time I came around on it was a lot better, I gotta say. Second time was a lot more pleasant. I think that first sip just kind of surprised me with that level of fruitiness, and it wasn't quite balanced, but the more I sit with it, the more I enjoy it. It's a little bit more balanced, I think. So, what do I think of these? The easy standout winner is Great Northern. Great Northern Driving Miss Maple, 110 proof. This is their Great Northern Rye, 4 years old. Definitely the winner on that. Rebel 113 and Dust Cutter from Great Northern, also pretty good. I'm trying to decide. I don't know which one's better, though. Honestly, if Rebel wasn't as sweet as it was, I might actually give it to Rebel. Rebel might have been better, but Rebel's a little sweet for my taste. It's good. It's a good bourbon. It's definitely good shit. That said, little bit sweet. So this Great Northern Dust Cutter, definitely the one to win, just because it is more dry and more peppery. And bringing up last place, unfortunately, is this Cat's Eye. This particular single barrel of Cat's Eye was, yeah, disappointing. Disappointing. The other stuff I've had from them is really good, but this one, yeah, just too green, too young, too green and too young. Needed a little bit more time. David asks, have you ever had Woodinville? Yes, I have. It's slowly making its way over to Europe. Oh, because of the Louis Vuitton Moet, Tennessee acquisition. Yeah, I have. It's good. It's really good. I wonder, I gave it to the old man. I gave my bottle to the old man. It's sitting in his house right now. He is so funny. I give him bottles to try and to taste. And then I come over later and some of them are like sitting in the basement and he hasn't he hasn't touched them. I mean, I'm sure he has at some point, but it's like, I give him some bottles and some of them are great bottles. And he picks out like the 2 or 3 he really likes and he'll drink the crap out of those. And then I'll come by later, he'll have finished those off and the other ones are sitting in the basement. And then I'll bring him some new stuff and he'll just drink that and the other ones will still sit. So yeah, he's funny that way. But Woodinville is some good shit. I really, really like their port cask finish. I really, really like their port cask finish. I'm finding that I really like port cask finished bourbons. And I like port cask finished bourbons a lot more than I like port finished Scotch or Irish. Yeah. And actually port finished rye is good too, so long as you don't let the port cask overwhelm the rye. Yeah, I know, I do. I show up and I take them back from time to time. I go over there and I grab them back every once in a while. Try Cat's Eye later? Okay. I will. For sure. But yeah, port cask finished rye is good, so long as you don't let the port cask overwhelm the rye grain. I want some rye grain influence. Port cask bourbon is pretty much always fucking awesome. I don't think I've had a bad one yet. But port finished Scotch and Irish, that gets weird. Lefroy Cargis, the new one. Where the fuck are you? I don't know what we did with it. It's floating around somewhere. The Lefroy Cargis that was red wine and port cask finished, that was excellent. That was fucking amazing. But there's a lot of other whiskeys like that. Oh, hey, see you, Will. Thank you for coming by, my dude. Good to see you. But yeah, there's a bunch of other port cask scotches and Irish that I just really don't care for. Bushmill 16 in particular. Bushmill 16 is the fucking devil. I hate it. I can't do it. It's too musty. It's got that weird rancio taste. David says he prefers a port cask finishing to anything, and it beats sherry. I don't agree. I don't agree with you. I really love sherry finishing, and I think some of the port finishes that I really like taste more like dried fruit. When it's like a single malt and you do a port finish, I like it better if it's more of a dry fruit kind of port finish, because some of those port finishes lean less into the really ripe big ripe red fruits and end up being a little bit closer to sherry, and I prefer that. So yeah, but if it's gonna be a big bright red ripe fruit, then that matches up with bourbon for me. That matches up really, really, really well with bourbon. Two-Bit Steak is here. Look at that guy. Hello, Two-Bit Steak. How are you? Glad to see you in. Nick P says Quinta Rubin is one of his favorites. Quinta's good. Quinta's good. I've always preferred La Santa. Sherry finish. And it's got a little bit of that struck match note I like. I like a little bit of that sulfur. That's just me. All right. Why don't... Oh, you know what? I'm going to break this out. As long as we're talking port finishes, I'm going to break this little guy out. I think this will be my last drink for the stream. Because I do have to be able to, like, go and do stuff this afternoon. At least a little bit. Bourbon and baby. Hey, what's up, Jay? Thank you for listening along. That's awesome. Nick, the Quint is too sweet for my delicate taste buds. Yeah, no, that's it. I am very particular. I like my shit dry and spicy. That's how I am. I'm just a dry, spicy boy. Can't help it. All right, so, I don't drink enough port. I like sherry. I like drinking sherry, but I don't drink a lot of port. Really should have grabbed some water to rinse out these glasses. Nah, it's okay. This is a pretty strong flavored one. I don't think I'm going to catch much from the empty glass. This is, and I'm sure me and Erica will do a full review on this at a later date. This is Driftless Glen Port Finished Bourbon. This is a distillery exclusive. When we went up to the Dells just for Valentine's Day, with totally intending just to spend it in the hotel room because we didn't want to be around people, because of fucking COVID. But we did take one little sojourn out to the distillery. We went on the earliest tour we could, so we were the only ones on it, which was awesome. I was really glad for that. And we happened to pick this up. This is exclusive to their distillery right now. They've had a couple distillery exclusive releases. They had a smoked malt that was very good. I think they had a regular single malt too that I never actually got to have. I think they sold out of it by the time I got there. So that was too bad. But I was happy to get this. So it runs about $100. Actually, I think it's exactly $100. So it's heavy. This is some heavy fucking shit for bourbon. But I luckily got to have a pour of it before I bought it because, they sell it at the bar, which was awesome. David is saying, the problem with modern sherry finishing is the casks are simply assembled in Spain and shipped with basic sherry. Yep. Rather than being used to actually age the best sherry in Spain before shipped over. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you used to have real, proper, meant for drinking sherry shipped over in barrels to England and Scotland. I mean, that was the way to do it. And of course, what was it? The late 70s, the Spanish government decided that, we're not going to do that anymore because we don't want someone else bottling our stuff. We want to, it's cost added economy. You want to have the value added on your end so you can sell for more. I did the extra work. I put it in the bottle. I can sell it for more rather than selling it to you guys and you guys bottling it and making our money, right? So yeah, and that's the thing. I'm pretty sure Glenmoe claims they're still using true sherry aging casks. They're saying that is still how they do it. I don't know how they're pulling that off, but that's what they claim. And I think, is Glendronach still doing it? I don't know if they're using seasoned casks or actual proper sherry aging casks. I think maybe Glendronach is too. But I know Glenmoe is. But yeah, pretty much everybody else are just using seasoned casks at this point. Like Macallan, for example. Macallan, I'm going to do a video about Macallan, I think. Just me ranting about Macallan for a while. I used to be such a Macallan fanboy. It's like, I don't know. Macallan is, first of all, they're using all these seasoned casks, which I think does lead to a worse product. Those casks are not of very good quality as compared to the old school stuff. And also, Macallan doesn't actually sell whiskey anymore, right? They don't. They sell collectibles that just so happen to be whiskey. Yeah, Macallan pisses me off. Hey, Roop's in. Good to see you, Roop. Could I start over? I drank a bunch of single barrel whiskey. Now I'm ranting about sherry barrels. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Eric McDaniel says he loves Glendronach. Yeah, 18 years after the fact. The sherry and his Glendronach. Yeah, no, and that's what's great about Glendronach is that they are aging fully in sherry. Same with people like Glenfarclas. And it used to be Macallan. Macallan used to age fully in sherry. Not so much anymore. David is saying, Williams and Humbert is saying that in a few years' time, they'll be making as much money from selling their barrels as they do selling their actual sherry. Yeah. Nobody drinks sherry. I mean, people do, but they're weirdos like me and like 5 fucking old-ass motherfuckers in the hinterlands of the world. Nobody drinks sherry, right? Barely anybody. You know, and it's a fucking crying shame because sherry's awesome and sherry's great, but a lot of people drink sherry-influenced whiskey. And at this point, like, just you can make a lot more money pouring some of your young sherry into a barrel and shipping that shit out. Hey, Floyd. Yeah, involuntarily rolls eyes. Yeah, I agree. Macallan at this point has jumped the shark so hard. Yep, your ability to drink sherry. Yeah, There's a lot of it's a much still very much the drink of an older generation, and I wish people would try it. Younger people, give it a try, mess around with it, see what it's got to offer. Because there's such a variety of styles. You want them really sweet, get your Pedro or your Muscatels. If you want them dry, you can go Amontillado, you can go Oloroso. You want that just pure yeasty flavor. You've got your Manzanilla. Like, you got so much Fino, you got all sorts of crazy cool options. So, yeah. Kyoko, I don't get that reference. I'm sorry. I'm sure that's a great reference, and I'm just too uncultured to understand it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's talk port finish bourbon. Yeah. I really like port finish bourbon. It's really good. It's really good. I like it a lot. I will say, though, this particular one is not the heaviest on the port flavor. It runs a little bit more nutty, a little bit more barnyardy. It's not quite as heavy on that super red fruit, which is not bad. It's a blessing and a curse, right? Depending on what you like. This is a little bit more musty, a little bit more of that rancio. So, yeah, it's if you want a really, really straight up fruity port finish, you got to go with Woodinville. Woodinville port finish is super fruity. This one, a little bit more musty with a little bit just a touch of that red fruit. Yeah, well, everyone's going to jack up all their prices very soon across the board if they haven't already. It's just going to keep happening. What do you mean? This is a regular size Glencairn. Yeah. Okay, I will look that up. I will look that up for sure. For sure. I do love the nose on this though. This is so nice. Also, I don't think I've actually seen Watchman 999 in here before. So hey, welcome. Thank you for stopping by, my dude. That's awesome. Yeah, no, you got to keep your Kirby hand strong, my dude. Keep that Kirby hand strong. I don't know what it is about port. Port and bourbon just go so well together. And I think it's here's my problem. Here's what I think my theory about why I don't like port in Scotch and Irish. My thinking is that, if you start out with new charred oak, and you get this really nice, robust, tannic, caramely, coconutty flavor, whatever you're drawing from the oak, you get it nice and robust. I think that stands up really, really well to port finish. That said, I don't think when you start out with a more light, subtle, and not all Irish and Scotch is subtle, for sure. But there is a more subtle element in terms of their casking, right? The cask has less of an impact on those types of whiskeys because it's generally first fill, second fill, refill. A lot less use of new oak. I think if you start out with that strong new oak backbone, it mixes really well whether you're doing tawny port or ruby port and you're going for a more musty, heavier taste, or if you're going for that light, fruity, effervescent taste. Both of those work well with that new oak backbone. I don't think that works as well with like when you're doing a single malt and you're aging it in like first fill bourbon, right? Then I don't think it stands up as well. I think it can be good, but you run the risk of having that port flavor, that really musty, tawny, rancio flavor from some ports, taking over and kind of wiping out the whiskey itself. And that has been my TED Talk. Thank you for coming. Oh, Emily is sending me a link. You know what is annoying, though? I can't actually open links from StreamYard. That's super annoying. I don't like that. I wish I could copy and paste this somehow. Tell you what, I'll just look it up on YouTube real quick. Sherry, Four Seasons.
The reason I love
oh, it's an ad.
Well, that's easy.
Oh my God, guys, check this out. We got a StreamYard ad while we're on StreamYard. That's fucking hilarious. Oh my God. Wait. Can you see this? I hope you can see this. Yeah, we got a StreamYard ad while we're on StreamYard. That's amazing. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah, check that out. That's fucking funny as hell. Okay, well, we're gonna listen to Sherry by the Four Seasons. Okay, that was fun. Who had fun with that? I sure did. All right. So I know I missed a bunch of stuff in here. I know Watchman was asking about the Midwinter's Night's Dram. I love it, depending on the edition. My opinion is that some of the editions that High West put out have really, the port has really overtaken the rye, right? It's really overtaken the rye. And I don't care for that. The first one I had was like 2017, I think. 2017 or 2018. 2018, I think it was. And that one, way too much port on that motherfucker. Way too much port. I want more rye grain. I need that rye influence. So if you let it go too much port, too much sherry, too much anything with a rye, ends up, eating up all of that rye grain, and I'm not going for it. Other ones have been good, like 2019, 2020, really good. A little bit more dry, a little less of that port finish, enough port finish to make it festive, but not so much to make it really overly porty. And that's important to me. Yeah, demonetized. Oh, I might get content ID'd. It's entirely possible. But the good thing about this stream is that this particular one is not monetized. I can say whatever the fuck I want on here, and they can't take my monetization away. They could copyright strike me. To be fair. However, one copyright strike is not going to kill me. Emily Chambers says she wants all the too much rye report for science. I think I still owe you a midwinter's sample. Send me your address. I'll get you some. I promise. I will. I'll help out with that. Nick P. You never know. You never know what's going to happen on here. Just never fucking know. Maybe I'm going to sit here and drink whiskey, and maybe I'm just going to, stare at the camera for a good 5 minutes. Okay, that's enough of that. Oh, Edward, I don't think we should push our luck with the content IDing. Yeah, no, I would not subject you guys to that. No one wants to just sit here and watch me stare at a camera for 5 actual minutes. All right. So that was fun. I hope you all enjoyed this. I really like this. I think some of these Pequod single barrels were really good too. The Rise in particular, really fucking awesome. Really fucking awesome. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Oh, Watchmen. That's fun. That's a fun one. Okay, I'll keep going for a little while. Fuck it. I don't know if I'm going to drink anymore because I do have to be somewhat able to stand up later. I got to go back to work. Well, not work. I got to go to work to shoot some videos for this channel. So I do have to be somewhat lucid. So, I didn't know you were a wood carver. That's awesome. You just thought it crashed. That's awesome. But yes, worst rot gut whiskey I've ever had. Central Standard Scotch style. Followed closely by Wyoming Whiskies single barrel. Now, to be fair, that was a single barrel from very early on in their production, before they got Nancy Fraley on. Nancy Fraley really turned that shit around for them. She really got them in a good place. So Wyoming has improved a ton. Central Standard hasn't. And I feel bad because it's a hometown distillery, and what I know their rep. He's a nice guy. The rep is super nice, and he comes by our store every so often. And I think he's also like the brother-in-law to our general manager too. So like we've got a bunch of connections to Central Standard, but their whiskey fucking sucks. It's just not good. Even their rye is bad. And, you know, it takes so much, to make me hate a rye. It takes so much to make me hate a rye. The only two I don't like are Central Standard Rye and AD Laws. Those are the only two. But, goddamn, of all the Central Standard stuff, that sucks. And it does suck, unfortunately. Like, and again, nice people, good people, but just bad whiskey. But the worst of them all is Central Standard Scotch style. It was how did they do it? It was a malt mash bill, 100% malt. It was peated. And then they aged it in a Scotch ale barrel. Yeah, that's how they did it. It was aged in a Scotch ale barrel. So they basically took a bourbon barrel, sold it to a brewery. They aged their stuff, sent it back to them. They aged it in that Scotch ale barrel. And then they called it Scotch style, which is like, I don't know how the SWA didn't come down on them and just rip them to fucking shreds for that one. But yeah, it was bad. It smelled like someone had lit a field of grain on fire using sweaty old gym socks as accelerant. So bad. So bad. So bad. Yeah. That one was by far the worst. Floyd says, pretty sure Redacted's bourbon is up there too. Now, here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about that particular person's bourbon. Whatever, fuck it, I'm going to say it. I don't give a shit. The guy's a piece of shit. I don't have to be scared to say his name. The problem with Tyler Boone's bourbon, not Boone County bourbon, and not Boone Farm, that brand, Boone's bourbon, which is a MGP sourced thing out of like Carolina. The problem there was not that the whiskey was awful. The whiskey was bad, but not terrible. It was middling, right? It was bad, but it wasn't awful. It wasn't undrinkable. The problem with Boone's Bourbon is that the guy who owns that brand is a fucking psychopath. The man is the biggest piece of shit in the goddamn world. Seriously, he is a fucking nightmare. That guy is, honest to God, the most amoral producer I have ever run into. He is a fucking piece of shit. So that's the problem with that brand. The whiskey wasn't even that bad. The problem is he's a narcissistic fucking asshole. So, yeah. Adriana, do you think they're invested so much in like, screw it? Probably. Part of the problem is that they're trying, like, it's hard to age whiskey in Milwaukee. There's not a lot of space to do it. You have a pretty long winter where your barrels are very inactive, and you have a very long winter where things are very inactive, and then you have a very hot summer where your aging takes place for the most part. You don't have a lot of room to do it in the city. You have to have some sort of warehouse, and the problem with that, of course, is if you expose it to the elements, you're also exposing it to the smog of the city itself. So they're kind of at a bad place in terms of either they need to make a very smooth, easygoing distillate in, a la vis-a-vis like what a Buffalo Trace style distillate, where it's really, really easygoing. So that way, no matter how long you age it, it's going to stay smooth and sweet and easygoing. Or they have to figure out a way to really, really get this thing to age. Whether that means they're going to have to take a lot more time with it, or they're going to have to do some sort of gimmicky bullshit. One or the other. They got to get that shit to age. Because right now, the distillate is funky. It's funky and weird. And if you had a proper amount of time to age, the barrel could turn that funkiness into something beautiful and wonderful, and it could become awesome. If you don't have enough time to age, it just comes out funky and weird. So, yeah. You don't have to play nice with Tyler Boone. Tyler Boone's a jackass. Everyone knows it at this point. Yes, thank you, Jay. Yeah, I think we've all heard the story of Tyler fucking Boone at this point. I hear he keeps getting himself in trouble in Facebook groups. I hear he keeps going to Facebook groups and like just making a complete ass of himself. So, wonderful, wonderful human being that person is. Yeah, Templeton too. Templeton is a thing. I should make a video about that too. The whole weirdness around defining rye whiskey and all the stupidity that happened with Templeton. With their flavoring and shite. Because that was a bunch of bullshit too. But here's the thing about Templeton is that, yes, they made some stupid fucking decisions and acted like a bunch of assholes. But you know what? They got their brand out there at the exact fucking right time. They got it out there right when it needed to be on the shelves. And they are in the public consciousness at this point. And yeah, they got there by duplicitous means, but they got there. And now the average consumer doesn't give a fuck if they if they lied originally. They don't, because they know Templeton Rye, the brand. They've heard of it. They've seen it on the shelves. They've bought it. And at this point, they're just going to keep buying it. Like, say what you will about Templeton being a bunch of lying fuckheads. They're laughing all the way to the bank, right? They don't care. Yeah, we're a bunch of lying fuckheads, but guess what? We're making a ton of fucking money. That's capitalism for you. Hey, Robotic, what's the good word, my man? This is quickly turning into Ed sits here and rants semi-drunkenly. about various topics. So hope you're ready to enjoy that. Yes, Eric, sweaty gym socks truly are the best accelerant. If you need to burn something down. Did he ride across the border with a mariachi band on an elephant? Oh, I haven't heard that. I mean, that's kind of fun. It's freaky and weird. It sounds like something I would do to try to promote a whiskey brand. So here's the thing someone pointed out to me in one of our videos recently about WhistlePig. WhistlePig means groundhog. So apparently the story behind that is that the founder met a guy when he was hiking, and the guy said something about a WhistlePig and seeing a WhistlePig somewhere. And so the guy was like, what the fuck's a WhistlePig? And he named his brand of whiskey after that. And not knowing, I guess, that a WhistlePig is a groundhog, so he just went with the pig theme and the hog theme. So, yeah. Weird backstory to that brand. Oh. I'm trying to prove a point about border security. That makes sense. Robotic is, he's on a late lunch. Nice. He and his buddy, who's from out of town, and the wife will open Pack 6 tonight. Oh, very nice. I like Pack 6. I like Pack 6 a lot. I think that was up there for one of my best finished bourbons of last year. I meant to write a list. I never did because other things got in the way. And, things like this where I hang out and drink and talk to you guys. As one does. I don't even remember which one this one is. I think this is Dust Cutter. Yeah. God, I love rye. God, rye is good. Rye is good. Oh, shit. Bacta actually is a piece of shit, though? What did he do to get forced out? Like, he must have done something fucked up to get forced out of his own brand. I have not had the Anok Cutter. I can't say I have. I have had other stuff from Anok / Nakdu, and I've liked it, so I'm sure their other stuff would be quite tasty. All right, here's my plan. I'm going to finish off the last of these pours, then I'm going to call it a day. So we've got a couple more minutes while I finish these last couple sips. Otherwise, I mean, I could just sit here and not drink, I guess, but that's not too interesting for anybody, right? I don't think. You don't want to just listen to me ramble and talk about stupid bullshit. Except that you have been for like the last hour, I guess. That's the problem. I mix up my Glencairns now. I don't know which one is which. Oh, that's the rye right there. Okay, I think that's the rye. Fraud and money mismanagement. Oh, shit. And DUI. God damn, that's bad. That is bad. Fuck. Crazy. That's not good. Don't drink and drive. I always found that to be the douchiest crime you could commit, is drinking and driving. Like, you somehow manage to, you are putting everyone else in danger because you drank too much and you can't be bothered to get a taxi or find a place to fucking stay. It's the douchiest fucking crime. Like, there are worse crimes, right? There are certainly worse crimes you can commit. I'm not saying that DUI is the worst crime in the world, as opposed to a lot of other things. It certainly is one of the douchiest fucking crimes, though. Just being an asshole. Just Being a big old asshole. Oh shit, it's Anox peated stuff. Oh, that's awesome. I bet that's really, really good. Hey, if I see it around, I will grab it. For sure. Yeah, we can, Emily. Let's be rye buds together. Kilco is doing 2 streams this weekend, but without whiskey. Oh, he's doing a dry week. That's always something I have never done a dry week stream. I'm always wondering if I've wondered if I could pull it off. Because I mean, I don't necessarily know, like, what the fuck would I talk about if not whiskey? And just like, I guess I could talk about the random shit I actually do, like outside of whiskey, but I don't know if people care about that. Oh, he was also on season 2 of The Apprentice. Yeah, that's not a good look. That's not a good look. Being associated with the Donald, you don't want that no more. You don't want that at all. But he's on to Armagnac. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's try and talk about ducks. They have orange penises, you know. That's not true. That's not true. But they do have like curly penises. They got like curly penises that like explode out of their midsections, like little slinkies, or like, I guess like a reverse slinky, because a reverse slinky comes together, or a slinky comes together. This would be like a reverse slinky, just like plop, plop. Yeah, and so lady ducks have vagina that goes the other way, that reverse corkscrews. Yeah. And they've got all sorts of little branching paths in there. Fun facts. True facts. True facts about duck genitalia. Also, did you know echidnas have a quadricated penis? That's also true. Echidnas have a 4-tipped penis. There you go. True facts. True facts about the echidna penis. Yeah. Which I assume that means female echidnas have a quadricated vagina as well. I don't know if that's true, but I would guess. I know koala females do have a bifurcated vagina, and male koalas in turn have a bifurcated penis. So there you go. You're learning stuff. With the Rock Gut Review. Who had echidna 4-tip penises on their bingo whiskey tube card? See, this is content you can only get at the Rot Gut Review. You're going to get a lot of talk about whiskey, and then at some point, we're going to talk about animal dicks. Oh, geez. Okay, I am going to call it a day. I have gotten way off track. This was fun, though. I had a ton of fun with this. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I am going to go eat some food because I have to go shoot some videos tonight, and I would like to be standing up for them. But until next time, thank you all so much for showing up. Love each and every one of you. You are great. And until next time, stay rotten.